I'm Gabriel.
And I'm a Selenia.
So, Saudi Vision 2030. If you operate anywhere in the international business world, you have. You've definitely heard this phrase.
Oh, you have. It's on every brochure, every investment deck. It's omnipresent.
It really is. And I think for a lot of people, the cynic in them sort of kicks in.
Yeah. It's easy to just dismiss it as, really expensive PR, a catchy slogan for we want to modernize.
Exactly. You see these futuristic renders of glass cities in the desert, and you think, okay, but what's actually happening on the ground?
Right.
But the source material we are diving into today suggests that if you treat this just as a marketing campaign, you are missing what's effectively the largest industrial pivot of the 21st century.
And that's not an exaggeration. This isn't just about building shiny skyscrapers.
Yeah.
It's a massive structural attempt to rewrite the economic DNA of a nation.
From the ground up.
From the ground up. I mean, we are talking about shifting an entire economy from just extracting oil to moving the world's goods. And that specific phrase, moving the world's goods, that's exactly where we're focusing today. We are stripping away the gloss and looking at the engine room of this transformation.
The maritime sector.
The maritime sector.
Which is, it's often the unsung hero of the global economy. I think we forget that something like 80% of world trade moves through the sea.
80%? That's staggering.
It is. If the global economy has a backbone, it's shipping. And for Saudi Arabia, getting this right isn't just a nice to have, it's existential.
Existential is a strong word.
But it fits. I mean, think about it. If they can't dominate logistics, if they can't move goods efficiently, the rest of Vision 2030 it struggles to get off the ground.
Your diversified economy is dead in the water if the supply chain is stuck in the past.
Exactly.
So to help us navigate these waters, and yes, I am absolutely going to use nautical puns today, you've been warned.
I was waiting for one.
We are looking at the insights of a very specific, very fascinating figure. Commodore, retired, Mohamed Irfan Taj.
And he is the perfect lens for this topic. He really embodies that intersection of military discipline and commercial innovation. We've gone through his profile, his company's work, and a keynote speech he gave about all of this.
And just to set the stakes for you listening right now, the mission of this deep dive is practical. We're not just talking theory. If you're in tech, logistics, investment, there is a massive opening to enter the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And we're going to explore how you can do that through the gateway of Arabia2030.co, using Commodore Irfan Taj's expertise as our roadmap.
But before we get to the how, we really have to understand the who. Because in the Gulf region, maybe more than anywhere else, relationships and reputation, that's the real currency.
You can't just walk in with a spreadsheet.
No. You need to know who's guiding the ship. So let's talk about him. We aren't talking about a fresh MBA grad here.
Far from it. We're talking about 38 years of naval command.
38 years. That's a lifetime of operational experience. He was a former defense attaché in Doha.
And I want to pause on that because that's not just a desk job, is it?
Not at all. It means he's an expert in GCC maritime diplomacy. That's the Gulf Cooperation Council.
Right. So he knows the politics of the water.
He knows the players. He knows the protocols. When you're moving goods through the Arabian Gulf or the Red Sea, you're not just dealing with waves. You're dealing with regional politics, naval clearances. He understands that delicate balance.
And now he's in the private sector, founder and CEO of Monsoon Wind's Maritime Services.
That's right. Based in Karachi, but really acting as a strategic bridge to the Gulf. And the scale of his past work is what really stands out. He managed naval infrastructure projects worth over 10 billion rupees.
10 billion?
Yeah, it's a serious number.
Okay, so I have to play devil's advocate for a minute.
Go for it.
If I'm a tech CEO in Silicon Valley or a manufacturing lead in Europe, why do I care about a retired Navy Commodore? Why not just hire a standard management consultant?
That is the million-acre question. And the answer is the difference between theory and practice. A consultant can build you a beautiful Excel model. Commodore Taj has boots-on-the-deck experience. He understands crisis management. If a ship gets stuck or a port gets jammed, you need someone who knows who to call to get things moving again.
That's not something you learn in business school.
Not at all. It's that blend of strategic foresight and harsh operational reality. And that brings us to the arena he's operating in, Saudi Vision 2030. In the audio source we have, he says something that sounds philosophical, but it's deeply economic.
What's that?
He says geography is destiny.
Geography is destiny. Usually when people say that about Saudi Arabia, they mean oil.
Exactly. But he's flipping that narrative. He's looking at the map. I mean, Picture the globe. Saudi Arabia is uniquely positioned right in the middle,
It connects Europe, Asia, Africa.
the whole corridor. Nature has placed the kingdom right in the middle of the world's busiest trade routes.
So the goal isn't just to dig things out of the ground anymore. It's to monetize the location itself, become the warehouse for the world.
You've got it. That's the core of the diversification plan. But, and it's a huge but, it requires a total infrastructure overhaul.
We're talking ports on both coasts, right?
Yes. The eastern coast on the Arabian Gulf and the western coast on the Red Sea both need to be completely transformed. This isn't just a few new cranes.
No.
It's dredging, expanding terminals. And as he points out, the clock is ticking. Loudly.
That stood out to me. He says there are only 5 years left to hit the 2030 targets. That seems incredibly tight.
It's aggressive. But that urgency is exactly what creates the opportunity. The vacuum for foreign business. They need foreign companies to step in now. They need the tech, the expertise. They can't do it alone at this speed.
And one of the biggest pressure points, which is also one of the biggest opportunities, seems to be sustainability.
Yes. The green shipping excellence he talks about. The maritime sector produces about 3% of global greenhouse gases.
Which sounds small, but it's actually huge. It's like the entire emissions of Germany.
Right. And this isn't just Saudi Arabia deciding to be nice to the environment. This is external pressure. The IMO, the International Maritime Organization, has set strict targets.
Reduce carbon by 20% by 2030, net zero by 2050.
Those are the deadlines. It's a regulatory requirement for global trade. Saudi ports can't service green ships. Those ships will just go somewhere else.
So let's get technical. For a manufacturer listening to this, what does green shipping actually mean? What are they looking to buy?
Well, he identifies a few things. First, the engines. The industry is moving from dirty, heavy fuel oil to hybrid engines. So if you make components for hybrid propulsion, the door is wide open.
And the fuel itself, he mentions alternative bunkering.
Which is just refueling. And they're looking at LNG, ammonia, and hydrogen.
Hydrogen is the big one, but the infrastructure for that is, well, it's tricky.
It's incredibly difficult. Think about it. Hydrogen needs to be stored at cryogenic temperatures or under immense pressure. You need specialized tanks, safety systems. You can't just hook up a new hose to an old oil terminal.
So this implies a massive construction project.
A massive one. The entire port ecosystem has to be upgraded to what they call green ports. So if you're listening and you work in energy storage, cryogenics, safety sensors...
Then this is a flashing neon sign.
It absolutely is. This is a market opening. They need the hardware and the software, and they need it yesterday.
But having the shiny tech isn't enough if the bureaucracy slows you down. He talks about regulatory excellence.
Which is the critical advantage.
Yeah.
He says you can have the best port in the world, but if your customs process is slow, ships will go to smarter places.
Time is literally money in shipping.
Literally. A container ship costs tens of thousands of dollars a day just to operate. A 3-day delay for a customs stamp kills the entire margin.
So this is where the digitalization comes in. AI, blockchain.
Exactly. Anything that reduces the time a ship spends sitting idle. But it's not just about the port. It's the ecosystem around the port.
Right. The niche services he identified, this was fascinating.
It was. For one, ship brokerage and risk management. With all this new traffic, you need people to manage that risk.
And then marine arbitration and dispute resolution. Why is that so critical?
Think about the complexity. You have a Chinese ship with German goods at a Saudi port managed by a Danish line. If there's a dispute, whose law applies?
A legal nightmare?
It can be. So you need lawyers who get both international maritime law and local regulations. Foreign companies need to know disputes will be handled fairly and quickly. It's about confidence.
And then there was waste management.
Disposing of ship waste on scientific lines. It sounds dirty, but it's hugely profitable and critical. Ships generate tons of sludge and waste. If you specialize in green waste disposal or waste to energy, they are actively looking for you.
And finally on that list, elite crew management.
Right. These new hybrid ships are complex. You need highly trained people who understand digital navigation, hydrogen safety. Training and staffing these crews is an industry in itself.
This all rolls up into that buzzword he mentioned, the blue economy.
And that's broader than just shipping. It's sustainable ocean development. It's aquaculture, which ties into food security.
The huge goal for the region.
A huge goal. If they can farm fish sustainably in the Red Sea, that solves a massive import problem. It's about seeing the ocean as a renewable resource, not just a highway.
Of course, we have to talk about security. You can't talk about the Red Sea without it.
No, you can't. And he touches on this. Maritime security is non-negotiable. If the waters aren't safe, Insurance rates skyrocket and ships reroute.
And he emphasizes collaboration, not just brute force.
Exactly. A strong Royal Saudi Navy is essential, but he points out they need to collaborate with regional navies, the UAE, Oman, Pakistan, to ensure freedom of movement.
Which brings it all back to his background in ocean diplomacy.
It does. Safe seas equal more trade. It's all interconnected: security, economy, diplomacy.
Okay, so let's recap. We have this massive opportunity, the green revolution, logistical needs, security. The question now is how? If I'm a business leader listening to this, how do I actually get in?
This is where we get practical. The source material points us directly to Arabia2030.co. It's described as the gateway for global talent and reputable companies to enter KSA.
And Commodore Irfan Taj is a key figure there.
He is. Through that platform, they offer very specific services. First, Giga project support. We're talking about NEOM, the Red Sea development.
Yeah.
These projects need immense logistical frameworks.
And JV advisory.
Yes, facilitating international local partnerships. This is crucial. Saudi Arabia often requires foreign companies to partner with local entities, but finding the right partner is the challenge. They act as that bridge.
Matching global tech with local operational needs.
Precisely. And they also mention green ship recycling.
Breaking down old ships.
But doing it safely. Implementing HKC standards, that's the Hong Kong Convention. It's not just beaching a ship and hacking it apart. It's an industrial process. A huge industry waiting to be built as the global fleet modernizes.
So the value proposition is really about translation, not language, but translating capability into local reality.
That's the perfect way to put it. Foreign companies have the what, the tech. KSA has the where and the why. Irfan Taj and the team at Arabia2030.co provide the how.
It's amazing to think about the kingdom's focus shifting from the desert to the coast.
And that's the whole point of Vision 2030, to look outward to the sea.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
It means the door is open, but it's a heavy door, and you need the right key. You need a guide to navigate the complex regulatory, environmental, and cultural landscapes.
And with Commodore Irfan Taj, you have someone who has seen it from the bridge of a warship in the boardroom of a corporation. That strategic foresight is invaluable.
And here's a final thought for you to chew on. For decades, we've talked about the oil economy of the Middle East. But if these sustainability targets are hit, if hydrogen works, if aquaculture takes off, we might see a future where the blue economy outpaces the traditional oil economy.
A provocative thought. From black gold to blue growth.
It's happening faster than we think. The pivot is real.
Well, if you want to be part of that transformation, you know where to go. We've mentioned him throughout, but you can find Commodore Irfan Taj's full profile link in the description of this deep dive.
It's a resource you'll definitely want to check out if you're serious about the region.
Absolutely. So don't wait until 2030 to make your move.
Contact the team at contact@Arabia2030.co to bring your business to the kingdom.